Hey,
Goodness,
hi,
I'm sorry,
Andrea.
guys.
I'm so glad we got it all worked out. If everybody can hear you, why don't you tell everybody a little about yourself?
Sure, sure. Hi, everyone. My name's Andrea Boring, and I am the owner of several websites. My primary source of income and business right now is AK Web Design, where I specialize in designing affordable blogs and websites to small businesses, organizations, and bloggers. I also write on a faith-based website called Modern Catholic Mom, and then my personal blog, which is Twins Happen, because twins do happen out of nowhere. So that's a little bit about me.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm so glad that we got to connect at Spark and Hustle. That was super fun. Can
I know.
you sort of tell everybody your thoughts on Spark and Hustle, your experience?
Sure. I had no idea what to expect. This was my first conference that I had
Mine
ever
too.
attended.
Oh, first
Yeah.
conference at all, really?
Regarding business, yes. I mean,
Wow, that's cool.
I've gone to other unrelated conferences before, religious and, other kinds of things, but never a business one. And so I had no idea what to expect. And this conference it was awesome. I loved the energy of Tori and Coach Jen Lee, and
Yes,
and I made some wonderful connections. I saw you, Stacy. I'm not sure if you gave everyone a rundown on how I recognized you or not, but
I did, but it is as most people recognize me.
well,
Yeah,
no,
pretty
I
common.
recognized you from OLI TV and
Oh, really?
YFE, and I saw you there, and someone said that's Stacey Harris, and I said I actually didn't know your face, but I know your name, and I was like Stacey Harris. I wonder if that's the same Stacey Harris that's all over YFE, and sure enough, it was. So
Very
that's
cool.
yeah, and it was a wonderful time to make connections with people. I got a couple of business leads, which is awesome, but even more important to me anyway is just coming together with other like-minded women and even some men to really learn how to grow my business, learn about myself, get some amazing tips and things like that we got from the speakers at the conference, and it was just an overall great experience. I highly recommend it to anyone even thinking about going.
I agree. I had been to a couple of conferences before, but this was my first Spark and Hustle. And I was really impressed with the size. I liked that it wasn't gigantic, like it was a nice size group. You really got to talk to everyone, and you really I really loved the pitch it, which is, for those of you who don't know, everyone sort of stands up and pitches their business. So it's sort of like your elevator speech, which I hate that term, but the elevator speech thing. And you get feedback, not just from Tori and Coach Jen Lee, but sort of from the audience. And it's super nice because it's sort of step outside yourself in a safe environment and hear feedback on something that you kind of have to use a lot, especially if you go to these events. So I really, really liked that.
Yeah, the pitch it was definitely one of my favorite parts, and then I also like the numbers game too, where not really a game, but where you had to take a long, hard look at your numbers and the income that you wanted to make, and really be honest with yourself. It was a real
Yeah.
eye-opening experience for me, and I really enjoyed that portion of it too. And the gal that recommended Spark and Hustle to me, Allie Laprete, she attended the past couple years, and she just raved and raved and raved about it. And I'm so glad that I took her advice and signed up because it was definitely a worthwhile experience.
Definitely. It's funny. I haven't, now that I think about it, ever heard anybody who attended Spark and Hustle and left and was like, I'm not a fan.
Hmm.
Wasn't for me. Like everybody has, or just it was all right. I've always heard really it was awesome, it was spectacular, I'll definitely go again. And I think what's really cool about it is that it tours. So you don't
Yeah,
have to necessarily travel across the country. Had it not come to Phoenix, we could have taken a quick flight to LA. Like
sure.
it's a simple conference to go to instead of there's one and it's sort of on the other end of the country, which it always inevitably is, and you have to fork out for the travel and all of that. It's cool that it hits all these different spots because
Yeah.
I think it goes to 12 cities.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where it's such a blessing because we're in a large metropolis here in Phoenix, but there's still a lot of stuff that doesn't come here, and I it's just so nice when you have an event such as this to really go locally and learn and not have to spend a ton of money on travel and like you mentioned and food and beverage and things like that. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, of course, I kind of feel like going to LA this weekend because that would be pretty nice too.
It's true. It's not very far. We could do it. We'll carpool. There we
Yes,
go.
just hop on. We'll hop on the 10 and travel through the desert. How's that sound?
That's right. All right. We have a couple of tweets from people introducing themselves. Nicole from the Wardrobe Code is here. If you don't know Nicole from the Wardrobe Code, she's super awesome, and I recommend you follow her blog, even though she's against my maxi skirts, which I kind of love, but I don't wear them out of the house, so they should perfectly be okay, Nicole.
Oh, I
Just saying.
love the maxi skirt. I love it.
She has alternatives that are more structured and a little more flattering, which are probably better, but not as comfortable when I'm sitting in this chair working with it. I'm just saying. She's
Right?
totally gonna tweet me about it now. I just know it.
Good.
Who else do we have? All of the puppy, which is Corey's puppy, Corey Freeman, and is adorable. And we have Corey also, because it would be weird if we just had Olive.
That would be different.
Tracy from Sincerely Tracy, or Sincerely Yours, excuse me. Amanda's here. Have any of you attended YFE, or I'm sorry, YFE, Spark and Hustle? I know I asked that earlier, but I missed it because I was talking. I wasn't paying attention to your answers. Did anything about Spark and Hustle change, Andrea, the way, like, did you leave thinking, oh, I should do this differently with anything?
I realize that I need to get a coach. um, but but no, I mean, I did, especially the numbers. My pitch was pretty secure before I went, but the numbers really, like I mentioned, just really kind of got me. And it was very inspirational to listen to the other women speak who started a business like I did and probably like you did as well, from nothing, out of the office in our homes, to create such an amazing income for themselves and their families.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't stress, just the market. Oh, Constant Contact. That guy was great. The Constant Contact was. I've been scared of doing email marketing. I know, cringe, horrible, but I've been hesitant to do it. But after hearing him speak and learning that I can take all of my subscribers from all of my different sites and put them into Constant Contact, that kind of gave me the little push that I needed to go ahead and get started with the email marketing campaign.
That's
For not,
awesome.
yeah. So I almost forgot about him. Of course, I haven't. I'm in the process of signing up. It's on the list, but
It's on the
yeah,
list.
but I'm not scared of it anymore, which is good because I'm pretty savvy when it comes to social media and Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest and all the rest. But for some reason, email marketing I was just always a little scared of it. I don't know why.
I think I know I was hesitant at first because, like, I think there's something about giving yourself permission to, like, reach out to these people.
hmm
You're like, I don't want to bother them. I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of me too.
But they give you permission to bother them. They want you
Yes.
to bother them. They want to be bothered. So I think email marketing is super cool. I thought Ron Cates was the guy who was at Spark and Hustle from Constant Contact, and he was great, and he presented it in a really cool way, which was really really nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that part a lot. And like I said, it just gave me that little push, and I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it. No more
That's
excuses.
awesome. I like that.
What was some of your favorite things, Stacy?
Well, first of all, my favorite thing is that Nicole said that I can wear maxi skirts and maxi dresses at my house because we all need house dresses. I'm gonna like frame that. I'm super excited. But my favorite thing at Spark and Hustle was definitely Pitch It because that is something that I've always sort of been like, I don't know, what do I say? Especially like even since I rebranded, for those of you who don't know, I started as a general VA and now I do social media marketing. And I completely rebranded my business from sort of a buttoned up, structured feel to all that is me today. And I still never got down that, like, how do I present that in 30 seconds or whatever? How do I tell somebody what I do? Because, oh, I do social media marketing. Like, everybody says that. It drives me bananas. So being able to hear feedback from people who know a lot more than I do, and also people who fall into my target market, my ideal clients, because there's people from all different kinds of businesses in that room. It's, for me, it was kind of a room full of potential clients.
Yeah,
So it was
absolutely.
nice to get feedback from those people because it's like, well, what do you want to hear? Which you don't necessarily get to do that all the time. Like, what did you think of that when I pitched it to you?
Yeah, um, it was such a wonderful experience. Are any of you tweeting? Are any of you thinking about going to Spark and Hustle? I'm curious. Have you already asked that question, Stacy? When I
I
was
did. I think Amanda is going to San Francisco, and I think Tracy's going to Chicago, but I don't know if anybody else is. The question right now on the chat is, have you ever traveled to events or conferences? Why or why not? I know you said this was your first business conference. Was there a reason for that before? Was it the travel or just your schedule?
I just started this business in October, so I haven't
Oh,
really.
wow.
Yeah, I'm a newbie, and I've had amazing blessings and successes in my business and everything that I've been doing. I'm actually planning on going to Blog Her this summer, which is
Very cool.
in Chicago, and I'm actually going. The conference itself, the ticket's a little pricey, and if I could find somebody to sponsor, I would. But I have a lot of clients that are going. Probably about 10 to 12 of the clients that I've designed for are going to be there, and I really want to meet them in real life. And it'll
That's
also be an awesome,
cool.
yeah, it'll be a great networking opportunity for me as well. But again, most of it is I'm such a people person, and I really want to connect with all of my online friends in real life. Um,
Yeah.
and if I can find somebody that can sponsor the ticket price because it's a little hefty, then I would certainly go to the all of the seminars and things like that that they have going on there. But that's one that I'm planning on attending in July. And I always keep my eye out. There's another one that just came to Phoenix or is coming to Phoenix. I think it's called Bloggy Boot Camp or something. I don't know. Does that ring any
Hmm.
bells?
I don't. I have heard of it, but I didn't know it was coming to town. That's really cool.
It might have already came. I can't remember if it already came or not. But yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for local, and anything that was within a drive would be ideal.
Hmm.
But if I thought it was really good and I looked at the lineup of speakers and I could fit it in my budget, then absolutely, I wouldn't even think twice about
Very cool.
checking out of town, leaving the kids with the husband and saying bye bye.
It looks like my Utoria is going to Spark and Hustle as well. Tori has spoken at Spark and Hustle, I think. From she is the owner of my Utoria. I think so. Um, I have traveled out of town for conferences. This was actually my first conference in town. I actually really like to travel out of town for conferences because I spend more time at the conference then. Like this one, I went and then I went home and then I went and then I went home. So, oh, that's not true. WordCamp Phoenix is in town. Duh, it's called WordCamp Phoenix. So I've been to that one here in town. But this was my first time not staying near the conference. Like usually for WordCamp Phoenix, I stay on that side of town because I live on the other side of town. So I kind of like to get immersed in it. Like you have dinner with people and you really connect with people outside of just the sessions. Like you have a meal and you really chat, and I really like that part. In fact, two people I met at WordCamp Phoenix, I actually mastermind around with because we built a really solid relationship at the event. So you can really turn those relationships into really, really cool opportunities,
Hmm.
um, above and beyond getting clients, which has happened too. But sometimes I think that people go looking just for client relationships, and you can get really great relationships beyond that. So don't just go from like a sales point of view.
Yeah,
Go from like a let's see what all this stuff is point of view.
that's my point. That's pretty much my take on conferences. It's the personal connections which will lead to sales. Is kind of my business mantra. And one of the gals that I met at Spark and Hustle Phoenix, she's already got a website. We're in the works, but I've already received a referral from her, which is awesome. Somebody
That's
else here in
great.
town, and that never would have happened had I not gone. So even though it wasn't directly, obviously through her, but it's working its magic here, and
Yes,
it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
definitely. I agree. I agree. It's not just necessarily about what that person can do as far as business, but beyond that. Um, Nikki said more time, you mean more business expenses. It is business expenses when you go out of
Well,
town.
yeah.
And a girl needs all she can get when it comes tax time. Just saying. If Uncle
Right.
Sam wanna buy me dinner, I'm not gonna fight it.
Oh, you're funny.
All right, Corey Freeman. Tomorrow taxes. I should do taxes. Yes, Corey, you should do your taxes. Now there's a lot of tax talk.
hate taxes.
Nicole, speaking of conferences, Renegade Women's Conference next Friday in LA, speaking on a panel. That's very cool, Nicole. I think that the ladies of Kickstart Kitchen, or at least Jules, is also going to be on that panel. Or on a panel. I don't know if it's the same panel. I've heard a lot about this Renegade Women's Conference. It sounds really, really cool. We have just a few more minutes, so let's go ahead and Andrea, can you tell everybody where everyone can find you so that we can all connect and network through this, not just at conferences?
Oh, sure. You can find me at akwebdesign.com or moderncatholicmom.com or twins-happen.com. I write on all three. I'm in the process of creating a kind of a umbrella parent company, which will be called praysharegive.com, and that's where you'll be able to find all three eventually. Just because I've got a lot of things in the works, and I'm getting myself disorganized thinking about all of it. But yeah, so it's been great talking to you tonight, Stacy. I'm sorry I was MIA for the first 10 minutes due to the technical difficulties, so my apologies for that.
That's okay. We got together, and that's what counts.
Yeah, so we're going to have to get together for lunch sometime here in town.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I'm super excited that you're a part of YFE Phoenix now. And if anybody else wants to be a part of YFE Phoenix, let me know if you're in Phoenix in a YFE.
And go to Spark and Hustle if you can.
Yes, go to Spark and Hustle if you can. It was absolutely worth it. It's a really good investment in you and your business. As for where you can find me, I think most of you know, at the Stacy Harris. Stacy spelled with an E because that's the right way to spell it. HitTheMicMarketing.com. I'm here every Thursday. Tip the waiters. That's all I got. Is there anything else, Jen, that you want us to talk about? Or all right. Well, that is it for YFE then this week. Make sure you watch the recordings and get on the mailed it list, which is super clever, Jen. Super clever. Also, in case you missed it, Jen got her shirt at the Gap. And that's it. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.